Okay, so yesterday you were working on lesson 10.6 when we were talking about estimating to the nearest half or fourth inch, and I assigned you some of the practice problems, so this is what we're going to be reviewing over in this video. So you needed to do 6, 7, and 8. So number 6, measure the length to the nearest fourth inch. Here is my ruler. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. It's almost right exactly on that 4. So it is 4 inches. And number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It hasn't quite reached 6. So we have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. So it's between 1/4 and 2/4. It's a lot closer to here, so I would say 5 and 2/4. Number 8, measure the length of the lines to the nearest half inch and make a line plot. So if I were to measure the lines to the nearest half inch, so I would say this is half, this is closer to 1, this is exactly 1, 1, 1.5, 1 or 1.5. What's it closer to? I'd say 1.5, 1.5. Make sure you're lining up with the 0. 1, 2, 2.5. 1, 2, almost 2, the exact. 1, here's 1.5, 2. Which one is it closer to? I'd say the 2. So I've measured them. Now if I made a line plot, it would look something like this. So I'd have 0, 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. So I had 1 for 1/2, 2 that were closer to 1, 3 that were close to 1.5, 2 that were closer to 2, and 1 for 2.5. Okay. And on the back, 10, 11, and 12. It says Tara's hand is 4 3/4 inches long. The length is between which 2-inch marks on a ruler? So here's 4. Let me move that up a bit. Here's 4 3/4. It's between which 2-inch marks? It's between 4 and 5. Okay. Johnny says for number 11 that his piece of ribbon is 3.5 inches long. Describe her error. How long is the ribbon? So if I were to measure it, I would say, even if I lined it up a bit closer, 0, 1 inch, 2 inch, it's 2.5 inches. But what's her mistake? Well, I notice that when I measure, I start on the far left-hand side where the 0 is. Looking at what they did, they started at the 1 when they should be measuring from the 0. Her error, so her mistake, was she measured from the 1 instead of 0. Okay. Number 12. Find 2 objects on your desk that are different sizes. Measure the length of each object to compare to the nearest fourth inch. Okay, so I have a block that I use when I go to the gym, and I have a mouse that I use when I'm using my computer. So let's measure my lock first. I'm going to line it up. So 1, 2, it's kind of right about here. So that's 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. I'm going to say 2 3/4 inches. And then my mouse, I'm going to line it up as best as I can. So I'd say it's 1, 2, 3, about 1, 2, 3 3/4. Then I need to compare them. 2 3/4 compared to 3 3/4, which is the bigger amount. Alright, so those are your answers for yesterday's practice problems.